In a bold and high-stakes diplomatic effort, U.S. President Donald Trump has intensified his push for rapid peace negotiations to end the Gaza conflict, with Egypt hosting the crucial talks. The move marks one of the most ambitious attempts yet to bring a lasting ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, as the war continues to devastate Gaza and claim thousands of civilian lives. The prolonged war in Gaza has resulted in catastrophic humanitarian consequences, including massive civilian casualties and the destruction of essential infrastructure. Multiple international efforts for ceasefire and mediation have failed due to mistrust and political rigidity on both sides. In this backdrop, Trump's renewed involvement in 2025 has drawn global attention, as he unveiled a 20-point Gaza peace proposal in September 2025. The proposal outlines a clear roadmap for ceasefire, hostage exchanges, demilitarization of Hamas, and the establishment of a transitional governance structure in Gaza. Trump's plan represents a shift toward an assertive U.S. diplomatic role in post-war Gaza governance. The peace talks are being held in Cairo and Sharm el-Sheikh, with Egypt acting as the primary mediator, a role it has historically played in previous Israeli-Palestinian negotiations. Trump's core demands and timelines. Trump has demanded that the talks move fast, emphasizing the urgency of halting the bloodshed. He has warned that further delay could result in massive, unnecessary deaths. His framework divides the peace process into phases, with the first phase expected to conclude within a week, focusing on an immediate ceasefire and humanitarian access. The peace agenda includes several key conditions: hostage release and prisoner exchange. Trump insists that all Israeli hostages, both alive and deceased, must be released in the initial phase. In exchange, Israel would release a significant number of Palestinian prisoners. Israel would gradually withdraw its forces from designated areas in Gaza, while retaining security oversight over key border and strategic zones to prevent militant resurgence. Demilitarization of Hamas. Hamas would be required to disarm, dismantle its military infrastructure, and cease political control. Trump and Egyptian negotiators have made this a non-negotiable term, emphasizing that Hamas cannot govern Gaza post-conflict. Transitional governance. Gaza would come under a temporary international or technocratic administration, possibly supervised by Arab states and global organizations. This body would manage reconstruction, aid distribution, and security until permanent governance is established. Security and oversight. Trump's plan includes deploying an international peacekeeping or stabilization force to ensure compliance and prevent renewed hostilities. Arab and Western nations may jointly oversee this mission. Egypt's role and regional diplomacy. Egypt, hosting the peace talks, has urged Hamas to accept Trump's proposal, framing it as Gaza's last opportunity for survival. Egyptian Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry reiterated that Hamas must disarm and accept transitional oversight. Egypt's mediation is critical, given its border control and influence over Hamas leaders based in the region. Meanwhile, Arab states, including Qatar, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, are closely watching the negotiations. They have expressed cautious optimism but warned against any plan that sidelines Palestinian sovereignty or creates permanent foreign control in Gaza. Challenges and roadblocks. Despite the momentum, the peace initiative faces significant obstacles. Hamas resistance. The group's political wing has shown limited openness but strongly rejects full demilitarization and political exclusion, calling it a surrender demand. Israeli hardliners. Some Israeli factions oppose any withdrawal, insisting on total control over Gaza until Hamas is eradicated. Verification and enforcement. Even if a deal is reached, ensuring compliance, monitoring demilitarization, and maintaining stability pose enormous logistical challenges. Humanitarian crisis. Gaza's collapsing infrastructure and displacement of millions create urgency but also complicate logistics for implementing any ceasefire. International reactions. Global responses have been mixed. The United Nations and European Union have welcomed renewed negotiations, calling Trump's initiative a potential turning point, but emphasized the need for Palestinian inclusion and long-term political solutions. Russia and China have expressed skepticism, questioning U.S. neutrality in the process. Humanitarian organizations have urged negotiators to prioritize unrestricted aid access and protection of civilians, regardless of political outcomes. Significance and future outlook. If successful, Trump's Egypt-led Gaza talks could mark a historic breakthrough, potentially halting one of the deadliest conflicts in decades. The agreement could pave the way for large-scale reconstruction, refugee return, and international stabilization efforts. Success would also boost Trump's global diplomatic image and reassert U.S. influence in Middle East peacemaking. However, failure could mean renewed escalation, regional instability, and further humanitarian catastrophe. Observers note that even partial progress, such as hostage exchanges or temporary truces, would be politically and morally significant. Ultimately, the Cairo peace talks represent a fragile but critical moment, with Trump pressing for rapid resolution and Egypt mediating with intense regional backing. The coming days may determine whether Gaza moves toward peace or deeper chaos.